Commander Zephyrial watched Earth grow larger on the viewscreen, his confidence absolute. The Valdrine conquest fleet had subjugated 47 worlds in the past decade. This primitive planet would fall within hours. Such a small world, his tactical officer observed. Barely adequate resources. Why did command even bother? Strategic location, Zephyrial replied. And the natives are weak. Their delegation at the Galactic Forum could barely stand for a full cycle. They kept requesting breaks and chairs. He clicked his mandibles in amusement. Pathetic creatures. The humans had seemed so frail at the Forum, held on neutral station Kepler 442 with its standard 0.4 G environment. They'd sweated constantly, complained about the heat at a comfortable 15 degrees Celsius, and one had actually collapsed during negotiations. The Galactic Council had deemed them unsuitable for military consideration. That assessment sealed their fate. The fleet of 300 warships entered Earth's atmosphere over what humans called North America. The landing site, Colorado Springs, had been chosen for its military significance. Cheyenne Mountain would be the perfect headquarters. Zephyrial stood at the head of his shock troops in the primary dropship, each soldier a veteran of dozens of invasions. They wore combat armor rated for any environment. They carried plasma weapons that could vaporize concrete. They had trained for this moment. The landing ramps lowered. Zephyrial took one step onto Earth soil and his knees buckled. The weight, the impossible, crushing weight, drove him down like a collapsing star. His armor, designed for standard 0.4 G environments, suddenly weighed more than his entire body mass back home. Around him, his elite shock troops collapsed like puppets with cut strings. Screams filled the communication channels as 200 warriors fell, unable to stand, bones fracturing under their own body weight multiplied by 2.5 times. Retreat. Zephyrial gasped, but even speaking felt like lifting boulders. Back to the... His communications officer couldn't reach the console. She lay flat on the ramp, one arm outstretched, fingers inches from the emergency beacon. Her exoskeleton creaked and cracked under the strain. Through the haze of pain, Zephyrial saw movement. Humans, wearing simple cloth uniforms, approached the crashed dropship. They walked normally. Casually. As if the crushing gravity was nothing. A human female in military attire crouched beside him. She moved with ease that seemed supernatural. "You okay there, buddy?" Her tone was almost pitying. "How?" Zephyrial wheezed. "How do you function?" She smiled sadly. "Born in it. Raised in it. Every day of our lives." She stood effortlessly, and to Zephyrial's oxygen-starved brain, she might as well have been levitating. "You guys really didn't do your homework, did you?" Across the landing zone, the scene repeated at every dropship. 300 warships full of elite warriors, all grounded by something as simple as gravity. The pilots who'd stayed in orbit watched helplessly as their ground forces lay helpless on Earth's surface. The human, her name tag read, Colonel Martinez, spoke into a radio. "All landing sites secure, Mr. President. No shots fired. Request medical assistance for the invaders. Most of them have stress fractures." She looked back at Zephyrial. "We tried to warn you at the Forum. Kept saying our gravity was significantly higher than standard. Your delegation said it was irrelevant propaganda." She shook her head. "You thought we were weak because we struggled in your environment. Never occurred to you that we were functioning in what's basically 0G for us." Another human soldier jogged past, carrying medical equipment that must have weighed half a ton. "Those humans who came to the Forum," Colonel Martinez continued, "wore weighted vests under their clothes. Just so they could feel something closer to home. That one who collapsed? Heat exhaustion and homesickness, nothing more. But you saw weakness." Zephyrial watched as more humans moved around the landing site with terrifying ease, coordinating rescue efforts for an invasion force that had defeated itself before a single shot was fired. A medic approached with what looked like a hover stretcher. "Don't worry," he said kindly. "We'll get you to a 0.4G medical facility. You'll be fine." As they lifted him, and even their gentleness felt like being pressed by a hydraulic press, Zephyrial understood. Earth wasn't a weak world. It was a forge. Every human was a warrior, sculpted by relentless gravity every moment of their existence. The Valdrine conquest fleet retreated that day without firing a weapon. Their report to command was simple: Earth is unconquerable. They train in conditions that would kill our soldiers. Recommend immediate peace treaty and trade negotiations. The humans had tried to tell them about the gravity, about their world. But the Valdrine had been too arrogant to listen. By the time they understood, it was far too late.